everybody. Welcome to the Garage of the Court of Public Opinion. I'm Jeremy Cordeaux. Pete's here, Gary's here, you're here, and the court is in session. We mentioned last Tuesday, the posting on Tuesday, Facebook posting, that Billy the Kid, I think it was the day he was killed.
He was killed by Pat Garrett.
By Pat Garrett. Can you tell me what? He played the violin?
He played the violin, yeah.
Not while he was being shot, I hope.
No, he was getting a snack. He was getting a snack in the kitchen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who was that Wild West guy who was shot in the back?
It was Wild Bill Hickok.
Wild Bill Hickok, yeah. Yeah, and the hand that he was playing, he was sitting in the bar playing poker, and that hand is now called the dead man's hand.
Aces and eights.
Aces and what?
Eights.
Eights. Okay, I'll remember that.
Pair of eights.
I'll remember that. Has anyone asked Kylie Minogue who she'd like to shag, by the way? You know, right of reply, that sort of thing. She could have, let's see, let's think. Albo, Jim Chalmers, maybe Chris Bowen? I wonder who she'd pick.
None of the above.
None of the above, yeah. None of the above, yeah. What about that cat that spent 4 hours in the tumble dryer?
What a fluffy little fellow.
Yeah, but how the hell would that happen?
Probably didn't.
An 11-year-old cat doesn't find its way into a tumble dryer. It's an amazing story. You remember that song called The Cat Came Back? Pete, you remember that?
No, I don't. No.
There was this guy, he was a farmer, and he wanted to get rid of the cats. He didn't like cats, as opposed to Gary, who likes cats, but he didn't like cats, so the things he did in the song to get rid of the cat, but the cat came back. The cat always came back. Anyway, you talk about 9 lives. What was the cat's name, the one in the dryer?
Lucky.
Well, it is now. Lucky the cat. Now, Caroline just brought me this as we go to air. Well, this is going to air. We're recording Monday, and this will be on air on Thursday morning. But she wanted me to know that actor Sam Neill, who starred in my brilliant career in Jurassic Park, has died. He was just 78. A post made to his social media account Monday afternoon said that he died in Sydney surrounded by family. The loss was sudden and unexpected, but blessed by the fact that Sam remained cancer-free. The statement posted by Instagram. Neil first rose to fame in the 1977 film Sleeping Dogs before going on to star in my brilliant career, Jurassic Park, The Piano, The Dish. He was an actor's actor in many ways, from New Zealand. Nice man. I don't think in all the years I ever spoke to him, but, you know, always admired him. Somebody else I admire is a bloke by the name of Jason Morrison. Now, he's been a long-time friend and a guest around the dining room table, live streaming on a Friday morning. You can join us too tomorrow, 9 to 12, jeremycordeaux.com. And you can ring us on 0491 65 68 60. But he wrote an interesting piece during the week, which caught my attention and that of Tony Denton. Taxpayers will foot the bill to send climate activists and Aboriginal groups to a luxury Turkish beachside resort for this year's United Nations Climate Talk Fest. Under a quietly announced $650,000 grant scheme, critics have branded it a disgusting abuse of taxpayer money. While Australians battle soaring power bills, the Albanese government is offering to pay up to $20,000 a head to fly climate campaigners to the COP31 event in Turkey in November. We should stop this travel support program while there's still time. It's being run by the Department of Climate Change. God, how many people work there? And what the hell do they do? Priority is going to be given to Aboriginal groups and young people and other pro climate action groups, officials say the grants are designed to ensure Australia's delegation better reflects diversity. Well, if you want diversity, how about inviting a few people who think the whole thing is a con, a giant con? This $650,000 bill is a small part of this outrageous, ongoing waste of money. Budget estimates reveal almost $150 million has already been allocated to Australia's campaign. Campaign? What campaign? What are we campaigning for or against? And these idiots think that we won't notice that we are not allowed to use our uranium and coal, but it's okay for the Indians and the Chinese. And if you look at that OECD chart that I showed you, showing the prosperous and successful countries of the world, India and China at the top, and we are second from the bottom. Can't they join the dots? Why wouldn't we throw this lot out? Energy Minister Chris Bowen's role as President of Negotiations? What the hell is that? President of Negotiations. With a support staff of 70 full-time people, taxpayer funded, we are also going to support Pacific nations in flying their people to the summit. What business is that of ours? This government has completely lost touch with the average Australian citizen. 240,000 Australians are in energy poverty, thanks to net zero. But Chris Bowen is spending taxpayers' money promoting his international climate nonsense. It makes me mad. It really does. This makes me mad too. I saw in June, patients spent 47,000 hours in ambulances, ramped in Adelaide. That's up 800 hours on the previous month. Where is the media focus or attention on that? China, according to an official spokesman appearing on TV, Professor Victor Gao of the, and I love this, Centre for Chinese Globalization.
I just love it.
I do. Centre for Chinese Globalization. Wow. Tells you something. It was on the ABC Wednesday night, 7:30. You can probably go back and have a look at it. China can strike with an atomic weapon anywhere in the world within 20 minutes. Now, I can't understand anybody coming out and saying that on behalf of the communist government of China. Saber rattling? Mega saber rattling. An intercontinental atomic weapon-capable ballistic missile that they fired from a Chinese submarine travelled 5,000 kilometres across the Pacific. It's a very strange piece of diplomacy. A warning to Australia? Pacific Islands? Why? Now, I tell you, when I walk down the street, just over there, out that door, when I walk out of the garage, down the drive, when I walk down the street, here in Glen Osmond, Adelaide, every second person is Chinese. The Chinese are greatly invested in this country. I can hardly think for a minute that the Chinese would imagine that it would be in their interest to blow up something that they've spent so much money on buying. Where's the sense? Why would you bomb it when you've already bought it? I find that weird. It, as I say, doesn't make any sense. Save your missiles. They're not cheap. Huh? We are extraordinary, aren't we? We Australians. Schizophrenic, I would say, would be a good word description. Sitting there watching television, and I don't know what time of day we're allowed to see these ads being broadcast for gambling, but there are a lot of them. They should not be allowed to advertise gambling, but I've said all that before. Be that as it may. There's the ad. At the end of the ad, it tells you not to do what the ad was telling you to do. That's weird. It's a disclaimer. It says you can't win and you shouldn't try. You can lose much more than you can win. The whole thing's crazy. There's the ad to promote the practice of gambling. Then there is the government-demanded disclaimer to tell you how wrong and evil and dangerous it is. Well, gambling is more dangerous than smoking, more antisocial. On air, I don't know about online as we are, but on air on a radio station or a television station, it is a crime to mention a cigarette brand. You can't mention a cigarette brand. They've made it a crime. But it would seem the gambling industry is much better at lobbying than the tobacco industry. Or maybe there's more money involved. 31 charges laid against the owners of an Adelaide Plains piggery. Many animals had to be euthanized. The owners will be back in court, and I'll keep you across this alleged example of gross mass animal cruelty, as I will with the slaughter of our beautiful wild horses in the highlands of New South Wales. Something else that I found interesting too. According to Canstar, they do a lot of interesting things, Canstar. According to Canstar, we in Australia have the highest inflation rate in the developed world. Think about that. Highest inflation rate in the developed world. Also announced on Wednesday, Australians have a record $19.4 billion debt on their credit cards at a cost of $10 million a day in interest. $10 million a day we're all paying in interest. I think we could relate that statistic, tragic statistic, to the increasing cost of living, driven, of course, by the increasing cost of electricity, which is reflected in everything we do and everything we buy. Which, as I said to you the other day, the cost of electricity has gone up nearly $23 billion since Labor came to power, and these people will tell us, straight-faced, looking down the barrel of the camera as I'm looking at you right now, that renewables are cheaper. Well, you know what I think about that. Now, tomorrow, Dr. John Bruni, expert in international affairs, and God knows there's enough happening out there, Professor Ian Plimer, who's a genius with everything. Look, this is going to be fun. Frank Pangello, journalist, Mike O'Reilly, journalist, and John Stoneham, he's the marvellous cartoonist. He's done some fabulous cartoons and cartoon books and things. It'll be a really good program. I hope you might join us. 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And unlike Darren, I will get up. I will be there.
You'll be there.
I will be there, ladies and gentlemen. It's July the 16th. Happy birthday if you're having a birthday. Happy wedding anniversary. 1969, Apollo 11 is launched. Oh, wow. It began. In fact, there's an interesting story linked to Darren Hinch. The first job he ever had in radio, because he was a newspaper man, first job he had was as I suppose you'd call him a not roving reporter, correspondent. He might have been more used to being a co-respondent, but a correspondent. He went to America, to the Kennedy Space Center, where they launched Apollo 11, and he did, for the Macquarie Network here in Australia, a live cross to describe the launch this very day. It's the first time he'd ever been on radio. I've heard it a couple of times, and it was very good. Very good. July 16, 1969. Margaret Smith Court, Australian tennis player, 1970 Grand Slam, 24 Grand Slam single titles. Wow! Born in Albury, Australia, Western Australia, left-handed but made to play tennis right-handed. I'm told you should never do that with a kid.
I'm left-handed.
Well, no, you shouldn't make a left-handed person right-handed. You shouldn't
That's true.
tamper with people. Kissing is banned in England.
Well, that didn't work.
It was to stop the Black Death from spreading. I don't think that's how it spread. 1430 was the year. This was the day. And someone had the presence of mind to note down the date, July the 16th. Ginger Rogers, American vaudeville, stage, screen, dancer, singer. Top Hat, the Academy Award-winning actress. Kitty, Foyle, Stage Door, so many others. Born in Independence, Missouri, 1911. The year before my mother was born. She was an interesting lady. Because Fred Astaire always got the accolades, the credit. And in an interview, I remember I saw her say, "I did everything Fred did, but I had to do it in high heels and backwards."
Indeed.
Very true.
And she was gorgeous.
Gorgeous lady. Adam Scott, Australian golfer, US Masters 2013, born Adelaide, South Australia. We can turn him out. We can turn him out. 1980 was the year he was born. God, I've got ties older than that. 1980.
My cat's older than that.
Yeah. Roald Amundsen, Norwegian polar explorer, 5 to 2002, Anchorman. He was very funny in Anchorman. You know, you could read an auto cue, but you had to be very careful because you put a question mark at the end by mistake. It went up at the end. Very funny. I sort of have to be in the business to get the real humour of that, I think. Elf, Step Brothers, born in California, 1967. Model, Anna Nicole Smith. Whoa.
Ay, ay, ay.
Ay, ay, ay. 26. Weds multi-millionaire J. Howard Marshall II. He was 89 years old. Hey, listen, folks, there is hope for all of us. There is hope. Dear, dear.
Fine Darren's ex-chauffeur.
Yes, well, she was lovely, I must tell you. I met her. Barbara Stanwyck, American actress, Dynasty, Big Valley, Thornbirds, born Brooklyn, New York, died 1990, born to stay in 1907. Captain John Gilbert patents the first dredger in Britain, 1618. I wouldn't want to go down in history as being the person who patented the dredger. Somehow. Adolf Hitler orders preparations for the invasion of Britain. Operation Sea Lion, he called it, 1940. Dream on, Adolf, dream on. American singer and actress Jennifer Lopez, 52, weds American actor and film director Ben Affleck, 49, at the Little White Wedding Chapel in Las Vegas, Nevada. Has anyone been there?
No.
Anyone got married in Nevada?
Please.
No. Anything else here? Oh, Jane Birkin. Now, she came up in conversation around the dining room table. Are we running out of space?
No, I've got a couple of minutes.
Okay. Jane Birkin, the French-British pop singer. She did Je T'aime. Actress, Death on the Nile, fashion icon. Dies at 76. Famous for advising on the world's most expensive handbag. I think maybe dredging may top that,
I think so.
to be remembered. I think dredging is probably more useful.
In the big picture.
In the bigger sphere of things, the Birkin handbag by Hermes, I think they sold one which was the original prototype, and it sold for $2 or $3 million for a handbag. And the story goes that she was on an aeroplane, gently humming Je t'aime to herself. And then she realized she was sitting beside this guy, Hermes, who's the fashion billionaire, and she started complaining to him about handbags. And before she knew where she was, she had an agreement with him to design her ideal handbag. That's a true story. Absolutely true story. I wouldn't lie to you. I wouldn't lie to you. Juan Manuel Fangio, Argentinian auto racer, world F1 champion, 51, 54 and 57, dies of kidney failure at 84. You'd have thought that he might have died behind the wheel of a car, but no. 1995, what a life. First banknotes in Europe are issued by the Bank of Stockholm. What did they use before banknotes, I wonder? 1661. I suppose they just used nuggets and gold and silver and pieces of 8. I know, no idea. Look, thank you very much for being with us. Appreciate your company and, of course, your support and all your comments. Very grateful. We'll be there at 9 o'clock in the morning around the dining room table if you want to join us. And you just go to, is it Simple Radio?
Simple Radio.
That's the way we pick it up.
Yeah, well, easy is to go to jeremycordeaux.com.
jeremycordeaux.com, and you can do that on your Safari or your Google or whatever you do. Yeah, or YouTube. Yes, no, absolutely. I don't know that you get the live program on YouTube, do you?
No.
No. But if you want to listen to the live program with all our guests and
Simple Radio.
Simple Radio, or you can listen to it on the computer, jeremycordeaux.com. It's as simple as that. Believe in yourself, and thank you for viewing the Court of Public Opinion. Goodbye for now. Laura, who led the first expedition to the South Pole, was born in Norge, Norway. He died 1928, born this day 1872. American actress Natalie Wood, 33, weds American actor Robert Wagner, 40, for the second time. Aboard the Rambling Rose, moored off Malibu, California. Was that the one she fell off? Yes. Oh boy. 1972 was the year. Harry Chapin, American folk singer, songwriter, Taxi, Cats in the Cradle, dies in a car crash. He was only 38. Pete?
Yeah.
Just a kid. 1981 was the year. Will Ferrell, American Emmy and Raspberry Award-winning comic, actor, writer, Saturday Night Live.